Today, our cabinet meeting today focused on inner line permit regulations to be implemented. A thorough discussion review was taken. A department concerns gave us a briefing on the entire situation. So, as you know, after the CAA, Citizenship Amendment Act, and the NRC, out in the border states like ours, where those inline permit regulations were, of course, there, but had not been enacted by the parliament. So it was not fully activated. But after December 2019, if I remember, you remember better, from 2020 January onwards, other states became very serious, especially our neighbors like Manipur, for the first time being covered. And they're doing exceptionally well. And the other states are Arunachal Pradesh. Just about a week back, you have seen the governor himself advocating for the strict implementation of the inner line permit in the state. This is to check and balance the demographic influx and to maintain the indigenous population's interests and regulate the inflow of immigrants, tourists, outsiders in the interest of the state first and the country from the security point of view also. He has advocated very strongly for its strict implementation. Over here in our state, we have been very vocal, but somewhere down the line, at one point of time, things became quite casual. So during that period, a lot of vices developed, and especially the IBI, the illegal Bangladeshi immigrants, because they're just next to us. They have infiltrated in the northeast through Assam and into our state also. So this became a major cause of concern for everybody. Now, after the parliament had inserted a new section called Section 6B, whereby they incorporated for the first time the Bengal Eastern Frontier Regulation Act of 1873, thereby enacting and making it a law, the state should actually take full advantage. But procedural matters take a lot of time. So ever since then, our state government has been struggling to put that mechanism in place. So it's in a formative stage, of course. We understand nothing just happens overnight like that. It takes time, but there has been little confusion in our other laws pertaining to indigenous status of our citizens. Then we have this register of indigenous inhabitants of Nagaland, the RIN, which was yet to be implemented, which the government had taken it up only a few months back. So all this had to be put together. On one hand, we have the inflow of tourists and transit passengers from Dimapur to Manipur and wherever, to and fro, which we cannot obstruct. Then we have a huge inflow of local tourists and foreigners from all over the world also. And we also have to check and regulate our traders who come as business officials or the workforce, which we always run short and take. So all this combined forms one group, one category. The other category is to do with our one local situation. Here we have some minority communities with us. We also have some splinter groups of other tribal members who have a scattered population over the entire Northeast, in other states too. So we have to bifurcate and identify who are genuine locals of this state. Though they belong to the same community, still those locals to our state and the others cannot be mixed up. So all these segregations, the process taking a little time. I can understand that certain sections of our society have become restless. And pressure is building up on the government. So today we have discussed in depth the modus operandi is missing. No doubt everyone is concerned, but how to put this mechanism in place and start, that becomes a little tricky. Well, there are certain issues to be resolved first. After that only we will be able to identify on which category of people the ILP will be imposed. And that too, the ILP itself, the permit itself contains so many categories again. Some for a week, some for a fortnight, some for a month, and so on and so forth. At about 3 months, at the most 6 months. We do not wish to give them above that. You know the Constitution provisions. If any citizen of this country stays in a certain place for over a certain period of time, they attain their voting rights, because of which we have to be careful. Excuse me. So all these considerations have to be taken up and implemented. We have suggested that an enforcement directorate should come up, not by creating new posts, which will again impact the state's exchequer, which we don't want to, but pull up different officials and task force from different departments, and then structure them into one enforcement directorate, which will have different levels. And in coordination with the administration and the police forces, they will work in tandem for the implementation of this program. We have also suggested that a team should immediately visit our neighboring states and see how they are operating. We have been given to understand that they have it's very much digitalized. Everything is computerized. And there are trackers on each of the persons who are issued the permit. And when it's going to expire, the period of allotment is going to expire, it starts beeping on the master computer installed somewhere in the headquarters. So this alerts the authorities that it's time to speak to this person whose address they have and ask them to either renew their permits or it's time for them to leave. Sort of things. And I think the payments as fees are also online. which goes directly to the state's exchequer. So there's no room for misuse. All those things we have to borrow from. The good things we have to borrow from our neighbors also. And also develop our own systems, what is best. So we're serious about it. And we hope in a few days' time, the subcommittee also will be meeting again to take stock of the situation.
Have this enforcement directorate for ILP. So
Something like that is in the offing. And the subcommittee will go deeper into it, and along with the departments concerned, things will be put up to the next cabinet at the earliest possible date. But even before that, our police forces administration has already been sounded that they have to start checking this.
So the defaulters in this case, like whether they will be deported or what will be imposed against them, the defaulters.
That's one area we visited today. Issuing and allowing entry is one. But somebody has to take the responsibility to see that they are also deported in time. So unless we have a tracking mechanism, we cannot do that. So all those are being considered.
So this is one issue. So what about other issues like the proposed or the declared shutdown in the 9 districts, the commercial activities to be shut down by the CNCCI?
Actually, I wish we do not take it to the street. These are genuine demands. I am sure the department concerned is already on the process of identifying those towns and chambers who are to be given the opportunity as a government nominee. It will happen. It will happen. So I would request them not to go to this extent. It is all right. It will happen. It will happen. We have to understand that we have scrapped the Municipal Act of the nation, and we have enacted our own new Municipal Act. So, not having municipalities earlier, we're encountering a lot of new things around us. So, whatever the new Municipal Act was enacted by the Assembly is not exhaustive. In fact, I personally was saying that is only the skeleton. We have so much to fill up everywhere. And that will happen in due course of time. And now that we have our own Municipal Act, unlike other states, we can amend it 10 times, 20, 30 times over the years. It's all right. This is the advantage we have. And we are the only state in the entire country who have this advantage because of our Article 371A. So not only this, we will encounter many more. I'm sure we'll encounter many more such lacunae. I appeal on behalf of the government that our citizens deal with it more patiently, maturely, and sensibly. Yeah.
So another issue, one of the major issues now happening presently is your own area, the NHIDCA vehicles and
Yeah.
ban the movement of government vehicles by the Chagasang Students Union. How is the government taking up anything with the NHIDCL?
Certainly, we are very much with the people. We understand their plight. I myself, I'm a frequent traveler. I travel through these national highways. So it has stretched on beyond a reasonable time. No doubt we have seen there were changes of change of hands in different packages. But I have to say, with much regret, that NHIDCL authorities have taken it very casually, too lightly. So finally now people have become restive, and because of their undue negligence, this situation has cropped up. But rest assured, government's already taken up the matter, and the different administrative officers are in touch with both the NHIDCL as well as the agitating groups. It should be resolved amicably.
Sir, some tribal bodies have been seeking for review of reservation system in the state. So, what is the stand of the government?
You see, government cannot work blindly. We need a basis. So, all these are to do with the population. And we need the census. Now, unfortunately, you know our census, how it was. And there are tribal organizations who have gone to court, in the High Court, then now it has reached the Supreme Court. So, either it should be 2001, 2011, that was the contention before. But now we have crossed 2021 also. So census is decadal. Every decade we are supposed to take the latest decade and go for a census. So effectively we should be going for the 2021 census. But even 2011 is being challenged. So in the face of this dispute, government have decided to wait for some time and bring out a census. First, let the census come out. Only then we'll be able to take up these issues. And over and above this, the bigger picture is our delimitation, which is due next year, supposed to be. But without the basis, we cannot work. So we hope that our tribal leaders and all the citizens of our state will bear with us. This is something which the state is not empowered to. Census is a matter of the center. So we all hope for the best, that something comes early.
So for the census thing, we will depend solely on the central government.
It's a central subject.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't help it. So we have to wait.
Unless the center announces.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Unless they permit us also, we cannot undertake random census of our own. Yeah, that is the thing.
So census is a nationwide exercise.
It is supposed to be.
Okay.
And it's going on full swing in other parts of the country,
Right.
except for a few states
Right.
who have gone to the court to challenge. That's where we are.
So even our 2011 census has been challenged, sir.
Because now that's a part of the petition. Because there are parties who insist that it should be 2001, but the other party says that it should be 2011.
The state government has already rejected the 2001 census.
It has, but I tell you, the state is not empowered to say anything on the census. So it is being filed in the court. The court will have the final say. Yeah.
So besides these, on the ENPO side, anything discussed, because after the acceptance of the proposed memorandum of settlement.
Yeah. The last was the state was asked for the government's opinion. State government has already given our suggestion on several areas. So now it is for the center to take up the issue and examine the state government's recommendations. So we're all waiting. Yeah.
ENPO has accepted even the state government's recommendation.
You have to ask them for
So
that.
they have
Yeah.
declared that, no? They have
I see.
They have
Okay.
accepted.
Okay.
The last statement, they have said that we accept the state government's proposal.
That is very good. That is very good. It should be like that. We should be in full cohesion and place our combined acceptance and make it presentable to the center so that we don't confuse the center again. That is excellent.
So regarding the present situation in this country, how are we prepared? Anything like happening this side, how far is the state government or the state prepared to face any challenges?
You mean the Pakistan war on the Western Front? Oh.
And also the supposedly retired officer of Bangladesh declaring that they would capture Northeast, something like that.
Well, excuse me. That statement of the former Army General of Bangladesh, it sounds humorous to me because if you remember 1971, Bangladesh war, police forces of the northeastern states acted as the arrowhead to break the first barrier of defense of the Pakistani soldiers. So our state police forces penetrated into their first line of defense, thereby giving the National Indian Army the full opportunity to dive in straight and take over the whole country. So we have one too many, in fact, armed forces here, enough to even take over that country if we are serious on our own. So it may just be the other way around. If we had to go by on the practical side, they should be on the watch out, rather, not us. So I dismiss that as a humor, I think. He doesn't mean it. It's all right. And of course, on the war front, the northwestern side of the country, we are very much with our forces, and we're fully behind the nation, our leaders, who are doing everything to protect the territory of the nation and to safeguard the lives and properties of our citizens. So our prayers and our support are with the country's leadership and the forces.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.